to TradingLounge and the European indices for the 23rd of October. With the DAX here, I can look at this pattern across the top here in two ways, one in a triangle and also one in this particular sequence here where we have wave 3 here, an A wave here, a B wave here, and looking for 5 waves here, pull back to the 38.2% retracement level here. So that's one way to look at this, and we'll need to have 5 waves within this particular structure and then move up from that point there. The other way is the triangle pattern where we've got wave 3 sitting over here for this. And I'll just dull these out somewhat. And looking at this as an A, B, C, D and E here, and almost complete at this particular stage. So on the 4-hour chart, looking at it like this here with wave 3 here, an A wave here, B wave here, C wave here, a D wave here, and an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4 here. Now, even with this particular structure here, I'm trying to figure out, I know that the A wave's in 3 waves, so that could also make the wave C here in 3 waves as well, and A, B, C here and finished. But if we get 5 waves here, that means that we'll end up with another move down here before we see the upside here. So if we were going to go long here, then we'll need to work out or understand at what point we can go long within this particular structure. So we can just check on that. Perhaps the hourly chart could help us out here. So yeah, so from wave D here, we can look at an A and a B and a C wave here for wave A. So because we've got 3 here, that means we can get 3 over here as an A, B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for the C wave of E of 4 here. Otherwise, if we're going to get 5 waves down here, that means we can pull back up to the wave 4 here of 1 lesser degree and then move down from that point. So we can look at this as wave 4 here as an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and then move down for wave 5 and then move up from that point. And if that's the case here, then we can look for a classic trading levels pattern sitting on the 500 here, so we can go long from this point. If this is going to push up here, and this is the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, then we can look to get a long position on, this is all of group 2 here, so 65, 72 and 80. So in this case, climbing onto 65 here, this 12,650, you could gain a small position on there if you could recognize support. So it would need to vibrate, and you'd have to have the first high above the level like here, and then look to go long through that way like that. And also too, you'd want to look for the same pattern here on top of 72. I mean, if we up at 72 here, then we're definitely going up further from that point because we're so high at that point, you know, we're breaching into overlapping wave structures here. So so all I can do here, this is really quite confusing. So if we go to the 65 and drop, then we'll bounce off the 300 here. It might go down to the 250, the 200 area here. But then if it climbs back up on the 500, we can go along from that point. You could probably even build in from the 400 at that point if it dropped down here, but you'd want the 400 as the tested support here as well. So you could do that from there. And then continue to build up. Now, if the market moves up straight up here, which we're thinking that it may, if it's going to be in line with the S&P 500, then building in on the 650, a small position here, a larger position on the 72, 720, and then also a larger position here again on the 800, and then build in on top of the 13,000 at that point. So that's the way to the upside there. But that's about the best I can do with this at the moment, unfortunately. So not a great help, but yeah, it's at least it's an idea to sort of chuck in the hat, so to speak, you know. Now with the FTSE, it even gets worse. I simply don't know what the count is, okay? That's all I can say. This is the 4-hour chart here, and I've rearranged the counts here to kind of suit the the DAX. But look, to be honest, I don't know if this is probably not right. I'll just have to leave it and say I don't know what's going on with this at the moment. Obviously, there's things that we can point out. When we're working with well, in this case, say 6,000, which is pretty much the balance line for this whole correction here. Okay, so that's the balance line. We're under that at the moment, so it's in a weak spot. And then we can look at the trading level. So if we consider the 6,000, the balance line here, then we can look at group 1 here, 1, 2, and 3. And if you know the trading levels, if we get a tested support on top of the 300, well, then we can go to the 500 at that point. But we haven't really got that. We've had it over here a bit, but that's been part of this trend. So we haven't really had that support on that level which we've been looking for all this time. And then the market's just sunk. So we've got at 6,000, we've got the group 1 above, which is fine. And then we've got group 2 below. So with group 2 and group 1, that's its natural swing range for a number of this caliber. So it's just doing all the right things. So it can certainly find support down here where it is. Now, like the DAX, we can count this down in 3 waves, but will it have 5 waves down here and then move up, or will it just have the finish in 3 and move up from that point? I don't know, but I can see that it's under the main level here, so it's in a weak spot. If we could see this climb up here a little bit further to the 900 and get support on top of that, well then, we can move, you can move in long at that point. But yeah, look, to be honest, I just don't know how this is going to pan out. I mean, it looks weak to me, but if the S&P 500 is going to move up, and I still need evidence for that, it's a bit like I can just see the Nasdaq here. I'll just use the Nasdaq for the same. The S&P is the same. We've been looking at a top here, and we've been looking at it as an A and a B and a C wave down here, and we can count our 1, 2, 3 complicated 4 all the way through here, and then making a new low here for wave 5. I won't get into this wave 4. He's a bit even more complicated than the S&P, but we're thinking that's the low there. But I still need evidence. I still need to see 5 waves up through here. And we've been looking at the fundamental information of also as well in the news of Nancy Pelosi doing a deal with the Republicans on the stimulus, and it's sort of half done and half not done and all the rest of it. But I was thinking that could be the reason for the market to move up, but it wasn't a really strong outcome, but it was a positive one, but not, I don't know how strong that's going to be. But so yeah, the S&P and the Nasdaq as an A and a B and C finished here and moving higher from that point. Of course, it could move down further. We could move up here and we can go down further again as well. But this is the count that we've got so far, and we're looking for an impulse wave here, which we don't really have yet. We have parts of one, which could also be a corrective pattern as well. So if the NASI and the S&P can move up in the next session, then that's going to be a bit of a driver for the FTSE here, and of course the DAX as well, as such. But this is the DAX we're looking at here now. So with the DAX, just going back over it again here, if we get support on top of that 12,650, like a nice tested support there, then you can start viewing it as being positive. But it could move to the, certainly move up into this base here as an A and a B and a C. And I know that this can move up a little bit higher here based on a 5-wave structure within here. So it can move to the 650 and fail. So but if you get a tested support on the 650, then that's the first glimmer of hope from my point of view that we could go higher from that point. So gleaning a small position here and then building on the 72 and building on the 80 and then leave it at that point. Yes, you could take part profit here and try to get back in again as well, or if you're going for the longer haul, then just get in here, keep the stop under here, because there will certainly be vibrations in this space here coming up through here. There will be all sorts of things going on here before we move up higher. So it just depends on what your particular strategy is. But look, that's about the best I can do, and I just I've tried to get my head around both of these markets, all the European markets, and yeah, all I can say is, if the S&P moves up in line with our count, will it lift these markets up? And the DAX and so on, they can quite easily move with the S&P, but we've also known them to lag, like up to quite a few days. So yeah, let's just see how it moves. So Friday we normally look for a bullish outcome, and for Monday to follow through on that. So if you see that strength, then trade what you see. Alrighty, I'll have to leave it at that. Sorry I'm not more help on this one today. Cheers.